Yes, Senthil? Okay. Hey, hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening, friends. As we promised, every weekend we will have a presentation on the project. And as promised, this weekend we have a project which is purely based on NLP. It's manuscript version tracking and mapping. So basically, we are trying to capture the differences that are there in the documents. Detailed description would be provided by the team. I welcome the team. Ranganath would be driving the presentation. Ranganath,
Yes, Sharad. Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
share your screen, Ranganath.
Yes. I'm sharing the screen now. Is the screen visible to everybody?
Yes, Ranganath, thank you. Please proceed. We are able to see the screen.
Okay, thank you, Sharad. Let me start off with a good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us on a Sunday evening and giving us your time to go through the presentation of the project that has been done by us. Let me start off with a big thank you to 360DigiTMG as well as Sharad and the team of Jameel Samrat for helping us and driving us achieving this. And let me also start off with a big thank you to my wonderful team here. And with that, let me start off giving you a little bit of walkthrough on what this project is all about and the different aspects that we had faced. So before I begin, I would like to tell this entire presentation we are planning to run it with by myself. I'll be running through the slides, followed by our teammate Mustafa would be walking you all through the code part, and the questions will be taken by the team. This has been done so that the flow is uh, quite smooth. So as explained by Mr. Sharad, so this is basically a manuscript version tracking and a mapping document comparison tool that has been done out and out using NLP. So moving on to the next slide. This is our team, a wonderful team. I've been very honored to work with our team members here, starting with my name there, Ranganath, that's me. Shilpa, Ibrahim, Nilay, Mustafa, Bindu, Ravina, Narmada, Shiva, Rohit, and Deepak. Thank you very much, team, for the wonderful contributions. Moving ahead, it's quite an interesting slide for us to understand, and people might be wondering why we have such a slide here. This is going to tell you, the audience, about the team dynamics and explain the strength of working as a team and the team building exercise, how we were able to achieve this feat. So basically, if you look at the way our team is with a pointer here, it's about almost more than 50% is non-IT. So 52.9% is a non-IT and only 47.1% come from the IT industry. And look at the experience level. We had freshers almost about 20%, followed by 5 to 10 years. I'm sorry, freshers about 17.6, less than 1 year, 17.6. So 40% is about less than 1 year, fresher or 0 to 1 year of experience. And the rest of the 60% comprised of 30% comes with 1 to 5 years and 5 to 10 with 17.6, and then a 10% goes here. So, and if you look at the programming skills, it's about literally 12% have no programming skills other than what they have learned as a part of the 360 program. Some of them are beginners, 23%, and 64% consider ourselves as intermediate. So what this picture tells you is it's all about teamwork, it's all about perseverance, it's all about the great skills that we were taught at 360. and the teamwork, hard work can deliver. It's not for you to just think, okay, I don't have the industry. I'm from a non-IT industry. I don't have the experience. I'm not a good programmer. Do not be afraid of it. You can still achieve it. So to explain that, that is one of the main reasons why we had this team dynamics. So that should give you a lot of confidence. If at all any one of you are thinking like, okay, is it for me? Can I also do it? Yes, you can do it. With double thumbs up, be positive, you can achieve it. Moving on to the next slide, what we are trying to do here is we are going to tell you about the business problem. As you would have gone through as a part of your course, it's all about defining your business problem. For any business, any project to be successful, you have to be very good at defining your problem. You need to understand your problem so that you can achieve a solution, or rather arrive at a solution. So basically what we had looked at here is, as a part of the business problem, the could be a book, a blog, or any code prior it gets published. Once you, let's take an example of a book. So you'll be reading a technical book. It could be a non-technical book. It could be a novel. It could be a magazine. It could be anything. Even a newspaper goes through this process. The blogs that you read, the web pages that you look at today, goes through this process. What is that? Prior to being published, any work, be it, the content needs to be reviewed several times because it's going to reach millions of people out there, and any content that does not fit the organization's motto or that is not said to be said as per the law, you need to make sure that you comb it up. You need to make sure that the correctness has to be reviewed and published, because once you publish it, you become responsible for answering any good or bad outcome that comes out of it. So generally what a reviewer, an editor, an author, a publisher, you name it, it could be you could be writing something on a blog, your blog, you are responsible for that. So what you have to do is it just goes through multiple reviews and you come up with some suggestions or some changes. Generally what you have to do is, let's say you have a document, you have written a blog or you have written a book about data science, and there are quite a few things that needs to be changed to make it look right. So what you do is, as an author or a reviewer, you have written it. As a reviewer, I'm going to publish it under my publishing house, or I'm going to publish it in my website as a blog. I will have to say, okay, these are some of the changes, make change in that third page, make change in the fifth page. So let's assume it's a 300-page document, and I have suggested some 200 changes. Right now, it is a manual process. Predominantly, I would say 90%. There are maybe one or two publishing houses or review boards which do have automation, and to a sort of automation. It has to be manually, eyed, one change after the other, and to make sure that, okay, was it done or not? So a thought popped in the minds of data saying that, okay, why don't we use the data science, the tool that we have in our hands, artificial intelligence, to make the machine do it for you? Because you and me will get tired over a period of time when we look at 50 pages. We might miss out on something, but hey, machines don't get tired, right? So they came up with this brilliant idea, and we were the lucky ones to be a part of it. So be it a content, a book, or a blog, you could take this and apply it across the world. Doesn't matter what. This is talking about a few things here. The sky is the limit. Your imagination can use it. So as I said, it's a mundane, manual, recurrent activity that can cause errors to check and cross-verify and highlight changes. That has been incorporated in the final draft. So that is the business problem that has been given to us. Okay, so that being said, Moving on to the next question on, okay, you have your business problem. The first thing that we have been taught as a part of the data science courses, come up with your business objectives. What is your business objective, right? Use the maximize and minimize. So the issue here that we want to address as a business objective, the two core business objectives is we will want to minimize the efforts spent to track the changes within a different document versions, blog versions. You can put that document, you can put whatever you want, emails, books, papers. People write journals, right? So many of these PhD people write lots and lots of papers, goes through tons of revisions, right? So that is the minimization of the effort is the business objective. And what would you maximize here? Would be the next question in the minds. Yes, what we would maximize is the quality of the document by automatically highlighting the differences between different versions. We will be suggesting grammatical corrections. We'll be looking at spell checks. We'll be doing a whole lot in addition to what just looking at whether the changes has been put in place or not. So that is going to enhance my product. That's going to enhance. So what is that? So you go sit in front of a client. He's going to ask me, okay, what are you going to give me? Okay, you're going to just tell me why should I buy your product? Okay, you're going to compare these two differences and give it to me. Is that good enough? No, we're going to maximize, cut down on your time frame that you're going to spend, and you're going to do it with a lot of accuracy. We're going to highlight you. So these are the two minimize and the maximize business objectives. And when we came to the part of the data, because we always talk about the EDA is one of the big part that we need to look at. And what are your constraints and challenges what are my expectations? What are my challenges for that? So the expectations that was given set out was to compare sets of documents and highlight the differences. What are the changes between the two documents? If there's a Word document and the author goes and puts in an inline text, hey, make a change in this particular spot, make these things. I should be able to read the changes that was requested and see whether that was done. Was there any grammatical errors? Is there any spelling errors? Then the data could be the randomness of data. It cannot be in a specific, you cannot expect that in a specific format. So the major challenges we had to face was obviously unstructured data. Documents are unstructured data. Different file types, be a doc, PDF file, a text file. There could be images within the document. You need to also compare and see the images. So these were some of the expectations that were put in front of us, followed by the challenges. So with all this, we came up, after the discussions and the meeting, we came up with the client, we came up with the expected deliverables. Okay, you have given us your business objective, you've given us, we are able to draw the business requirements. Now, what is that we are expected to deliver? The expected deliverables, we said we'll give you a history of multiple versions of the file. So you have a file and you could have made 10 different versions of it. Do not worry. We are with you. We will let you compare any two versions. We will build a fantastic version control for you. Oh, fantastic. What else can you do for me? I'll give you a list of deleted words, a list of inserted words. Will you just give me those two? Was the question of the client, for which we said, hey, no. We're going to give you the context where the changes were made. We will capture all the inline comments by the editor. And then, obviously, if there are any grammatical suggestions, we said we will capture that and we will give it up to you. And it's up to the individual to whether pick that grammatical correction or just leave it. It's up to them. That's why we said corrections. suggestions, grammatical suggestions. We never said grammatical corrections. It's a grammar suggestion. Okay. So with those three different objectives, deliverables, we all gear up. Now we have to start working on the project, right? That comes a real challenge. So how do we go about it? So this could be done in different ways, such as using programming NLP for processing the data and automating report generation for semi-structured data. We could showcase the report in between different versions and the grammatical corrections. We could use LSTM RNN. We use Beautiful Soap, regex, APIs, and other modules. So these were the different approaches that we had to spend time, toy around, find the best fit. Because this is one of the areas whoever is planning to work on a project has to definitely spend enough time to find out, okay, there might be 3 or 4 approaches for a particular project. It doesn't mean that you need to do it right away. You need to just take one particular you have to take one particular approach and proceed with it, not necessary at all. So just list out multiple approaches, find the best that would suit the problem in hand. Doesn't mean that one approach is better than the other. It depends on the project at hand. So please make sure, just don't go by, okay, RNN is the best, let's do it. It might not fit your project. So a client looks at all those things. You want to make sure that you pick the right approach so that you're able to deliver on time and you're able to deliver the product that's required or requested about you. Okay, so if somebody is asking for a dosa, there are different ways of making a dosa. Which dosa this person is asking is what you need to look at and prepare it in such a way and deliver it. I just hope I didn't make you all hungry, dinner time. So I thought I'd just break a little bit of monotony with the project and talk about dosas and chapatis and pesaratus coming from Hyderabad. Okay, back to business. So what are all the different things that did we use? Languages, libraries. What did you use, sir? You're talking a lot here. Yes, we went with Python, our best buddy, Python, because it's good with, all kinds of AI, natural language processing and stuff like that. Because you would have always heard Sharath as well as Barney saying, statistical related R is better. So we went with Python. We used the Beautiful Soup, generally we use in text mining, the regex to, search, read, find out elementaries, difflib, find out the differences, and quite a bit of APIs. So my friend Mustafa would walk you through the amazing program that would look wonderful once you see them in action. And then we went with the NoSQL MongoDB, where we would store our database collections with regards to the versions from which you can go back, pull it out, and display the versions as required. So there is a permanent storage. We are giving the option of going either with the cloud MongoDB, or you could also go with your local version of MongoDB. So what is the output that you get once you run my project? My project, did I say my project? Our project, sorry. Our project produces an output in the HTML format, which you can just mail it to your customer. He doesn't have to have any specific tool to look at what you have generated. We give you Excel file. You can send them an Excel file. If somebody has got a cloud access, send them the MongoDB connection link. They will be able to drill down. We'll also, going forward, we're also planning to provide reports straight out of MongoDB. Those are the different outputs that can be given. And there has been, as you can see this is one area where all of us working on projects or with the client-related projects, you need to be very clear, because provide them not just one type of an output. Don't curtail them. Don't say, okay, I will only give you this. Be customer friendly, you know, make sure that they love you. Oh, wow, look at this. I just asked for one. The guy is giving me CSV also. Fantastic. Why CSV? They have to upload it somewhere else. They might want to feed this to another system of theirs. A publisher might have a system in his center, in his office. So he could just feed this and have it updated in the system, so that they can also look at what, when going forward they can use this for training purpose. Okay, so just look at different options, make it user friendly storage outputs. Okay, so how does my process flow? That could be your next question. So there are two files that are, the picture speaks 1,000 words, right? I was telling you everything so far. If you look at this diagram, you're going to love this product. You'll understand pretty much everything crystal clear, 100%. Input file 1, input file 2. Two files are to be compared. We check the file types. If it is a non-Word document, this guy does the conversion for you. No matter what type of it is, it does a conversion. And then if it is not, it'll go to just prepare the Word documents for the comparison purpose. Otherwise, the converted Word would go here. The comparison will happen. Whatever the comparison results will be stored in 3 different data frames as change document, comments document, and grammar document. These 3 will go into a single collection in a MongoDB. That also we have given you as multiple outputs, as an HTML output, followed by an MS Excel or a CSV. So this is your flow. File, for check the file output, conversion, compare, store them, MongoDB, and give them as output. So what is your application? So now we have done the building of the tool. So where would we apply the tool? What's a few of the applications listed here? For the sake of time, as well as for the sake of clarity, this could go. I could write 25 slides for the application of this tool, but a few of them that we can quickly look at are the quality of the blog or the book can be gauged based on the number of iterations. So if a particular author is writing a book and we have to go through 20 times before we can publish, you're talking about the quality. You guys would know that if you are doing a presentation for your office and your boss sends you back 20 times to make corrections, then obviously there's something, either you did not understand the requirement or you did not do the groundwork or the homework, or you did not do what is expected of you. So obviously it speaks about the quality, right? Okay, we understand nobody is 100% perfect. Don't expect first go it's going to be good. No. It's got to have a certain number of iterations allowed. So it's going to tell you the quality of my product. Then we can help access the time consumed on a single publication based on the first review date. So it came on the first date, he gave it. So by the time I publish, it has taken 4 months. Let's assume a cycle for a publication cycle is probably, I'll say for argument's sake, let's say it's 2 months. So if this guy is taking 4 months, so they'll be little skeptical about this author. So it could work both ways. Don't just think only from a publisher perspective. If you are the author and if you're looking to improve yourself, this is what you need to look at. Hey, I have to improve on my quality. I have to improve on my on the timing. It also helps you to easily navigate all the changes incorporated in the document from the initial release. So you can see the growth, how the document matured from here to here. So look at, as I told you, look at the application of the tool. I can keep talking for another 2 hours just on the application of this tool. It can improve, or it can help you to choose the right author. For the author, it can help you to choose a publisher. Maybe the author might feel this publisher doesn't meet my standards. I'm publishing. You would have seen certain books, even about data science, there will be certain books that will be at a very middle level, basic level, at a very advanced level. So if you are a publisher who's just publishing basic books and I'm trying to publish an advanced level book, he's going to keep sending you back to make corrections. So you can also, works vice versa. This tool is not specific only, please understand, it's not only for the publisher. An author could also use it and do this prior to sending it out, or you can also use this to analyze. So these are some of the different applications of the tool. Now we have spoken about the tool, understanding, hard work, the final product, and with the help of Sharath and the team 360 and my friends here, we are in front of you doing this presentation. This presentation, even though I did the presentation and did all the talking, is, as you could see, I love talking, right? So I keep talking. So we call this the wall of fame, as all of you must be very familiar with. It was a fantastic teamwork, great work done by the team. The project coordinators, Shilpa, Ibrahim, did a great job. Nilay, Mustafa, Narmada worked on this component. Document comparison tables, fantastic work done by Deepak, Rohit, and Shiva. Grammar and MongoDB part, we worked on it. Shilpa, Ibrahim, Mustafa. Documentation, which is generally, as we say, in any IT project. Okay, so this is where people shy away. A project fails or is successful based on how well you document the project. Please make sure this is one area where people shy away from or are not very happy or very interested to do it, because it's one of a kind of a boring stuff. But documentation is the key to the success of the project. Rather, documentation is the success to the is the key to the success of the product. So this was a fantastic team. I was so honored to be a part of this team and work with my fellow colleagues and the teammates for making this a very successful project. Everybody did a fantastic job, and as you could see, we very nicely split the work between teams and awesome coordination. Regular meetings we had. Please have regular meetings. Make sure that you have regular meetings so that we're all on the same page, right? We used to discuss everything. Everybody can voice their opinion. Everybody is heard of. So that is one of the reasons for us successfully completing this project. With this, I would like to give our big thanks to Mr. Sharad Ji, to Mr. Bharani, all the 360DigiTMG mentors who were there for us when we were bothering them during our assignment time. Because of them, we learned. Whatever we did is because of them. A big, big thanks to InnoDataTex for believing in us and giving us this project. And once again, thank you very much, team, for this excellent product. You were a great team to work with. And thanks again, Sharad and 360 and InnoDataTex. And with that, I would like to say a big thank you for the audience for listening to me very patiently. And now I would like to hand over the session to my dear friend Mustafa for running the code and showing you all the product in action. And be ready, put on your seatbelts, get ready for the ride. Thank you. Over to you, Mustafa.
Thank you, Ranganath. It was a wonderful presentation. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So let me present my screen. I hope it's visible.
Yes.
Yeah. So to begin with, let us look at the business problem one more time. As Ranganath has mentioned it clearly, for any book to be published, there could be multiple versions that are published. and for each version, there could be multiple drafts, and each draft will be thoroughly looked at, and whatever the correct and final version is available at the end, that piece of the file is going to be published as version. So for an example, let's look at book InnoDataText, and it has got two versions, and the first version, it has two files. So the first file, the author has submitted it to the publishing house, and the editor thinks there are certain things that to be corrected, and he has communicated his suggestions via inline comments. He has given this file back, and the corrected file is sent back again to the publishing house with the suggestions that are given by the editor. So now it's the publishing house task to compare these two files and understand if the suggestions given were incorporated and the changes were done. So this was our business problem. So let us see how our programming tool solves this issue. So we have chosen Python as our programming tool to get a solution. Let me input all the required libraries that we'll be using later in the code. Yeah. So the tool lets you to choose the files which have to be compared. And right now I'm using version 1 and the first file, which was given back by the editor with inline comments. And the second file, again for the same version, this is the latest draft which was submitted by the author to the publishing house. So whoever the end user is, he'll have to give out basic details about the book so that the tool can perform better. So it is asking me for the book version number, book ID, book title, and the book author. You can see the book title is InnoDataText, and this is version 01.00. So the version is 01.00. And the book ID, let us just say some random number, and the book title is InnoDataText. And then for time being, let's just say the book author is Mustafa. So once the details are given, the tool will do the initial pre-processing where it will take the files that are selected and process it so that the later part of the code can understand the data better. Once the pre-processing is done, the tool will then process whatever the readily available data is given by the tool so that it will capture the required information which we'll be using to produce the output. It will grab all the inline comments that are given as suggestions by the editor. It will capture all the expected deliverables that were presented in the slide, the deleted words, changed words, the context of the, uh, uh, where the change has happened. And of course, if the document has any table, this tool will also compare the table. And if there are any changes, it will highlight it. Then, of course, as Rangnath mentioned, this tool will provide you the grammar suggestions. If the editor or the end user thinks it has to be taken up, they can use it. So we got all the details now, but because this was the details were captured from the unstructured data, and the output, we would like to make it semi-structured so that for better understanding for the client or the user. So we'll do a little bit of processing before we can transfer the data to the database. And for time being, I'm using localhost. You can use cloud-based databases as well. And we have been using Mongo database, MongoDB, because it's unstructured data, of course. And so this will tell you what are the available databases. And by using my access to the database, it has InnoDataText, admin, config, and local. You can see here. So I'm going to use InnoDataText. If at all, if you have the access to the database, you will understand how the databases are created. The user can simply give the access by using login details, and then he can use this to transfer the data inside the database. So now looking at the collections available inside the database, it has text comparison and grammar suggestions. And then I'm using these two and transferring the data into the database. So it says the data is transferred successfully into the NoSQL database, and the number of records found in the collection, text comparison are 12. And for the grammar suggestions, the tool says there could be at least 6 suggestions that you can take up. So let us look at the output now. If you can see here, this is the comparison done by the tool for the text available inside the document. These were the details. This is my system name, the user. So the user have used the tool at so and so time, and the entry has been done for the book ID 5589 for the book InnoDataText. And this was the author details given by the user. And this is the version number, and these are the files compared. So depending on the suggestions given by the editor, the comments are also shown here, that this was the comment, change feelings to feeling, and the replies if there are any available, another comment. Who has given these comments and where exactly is this comment added, so that you'll have a context to understand at this paragraph or at this sentence, the comment was given to change feelings to feeling. Apart from that, what are all the changes that are done? It is easily listed out. So for an example, you can see here that the old sentence is in the previous file, I have visited the extremely large trees and so, right? And in the next file, the document has changed it. The author has changed extremely to monstrous. So this is perfectly showing that extremely was deleted and the monstrous was added. And I mean, this is the comment. So he'll understand whether he has made this change or not. And even though the information is taken up from unstructured data, this will give you a feel of semi-structured form so that it is better understood by the user. So let me run this tool again for the next available version, so that we'll understand how dynamically this tool can work. Just give me a second. So right now we have compared the files that are available in version 01.00. So let us try to compare the files that are present in version 01.01. So this is the next version that was published for the book InnoDataText, right? So let me run the tool. selecting files, the old file for the version 1.01, the latest available draft for the same version. So this time the version number is 01.01, and let's say the book ID is 23075, and the book title remains the same, data text, and let's say the book author this time is Ranganath.
Thanks for making me an author.
Let us do the initial pre-processing. I mean, let the tool do the initial pre-processing. And then once we have clean data, we'll process it to get the required information. And once we have got that, we'll try to see if there are any tables present. It says there were no comments found in the document. There were no tables found in the document. So no worries, even if there were no comments provided by the editor, this tool will compare and show you the differences that are present further within two versions of the same book. Then this will try to suggest any grammar suggestions if there are present, depending on the language. Little bit of processing for the data transfer. Selecting the same client again, the local host instead of cloud. Depends on you what to select. So transferring the data successfully. And this time you can see that the difference is the number of records found have been increased. So even in the text comparison and the grammar suggestions, right? So this will tell you, let me show you the output and then talk about it. Yeah. So these were the first 12 records that were uploaded previously by the tool into the database. And now at this time, you can look at the time difference and the details that are given here. Initially, the author was Mustafa, and now for this version, it's Ranganath. And it'll add up dynamically no matter how many times you have been using it. So let's say here there are two files, but let's say there are 50 or hundreds of drafts that are available for this one version. This tool will happily compare and give you the output, which will include all the details for every version so that you can have a version control over it and understand for what are the differences available for each version. So for example, let me show you the changes that are captured by this tool for these files. So here it's saying thanking is deleted. So let me look at thanking for inside the old document. It says I have been thanking how the climate has been shifting. So this is changed in the next file, the latest version, to thinking. I have been thinking how the climate has been shifting. So this is perfectly captured by the tool, and it says humans with a spelling mistake has been deleted. Yes, you can see at humans on the tail. Here in the latest version, it says humans with take, take. So everything is perfectly recorded. So if there are comments, the comments were captured for the previous versions. You can see here. If there are no comments, no worries. It'll properly give you a semi-structure format so that the user can easily understand the data. So as and when you run the tool, it will dynamically update your database, uh, given that you have an access to it. So let me just show you the data that is present inside the database. So these were the two collections I have been using. You can see that the documents, there are 24 documents inside the text comparison. So we have it here, right? If I run the tool again, and if the data gets updated dynamically again, it'll show up in the database. So this will not take a second that the data, whenever you're running the tool, whatever files it could be, it's just keep adding to it so that you can look at it whenever you have an access to it, right? And let's say this is one of the outputs that we get, the HTML file. And let us say the user wants to save it locally as an Excel file. The user can also do that, and it'll perfectly tell you that at this place the file has been saved. Let us look at it. Um, just wait a second. Yeah. So whatever the data we have been looking at, so this will save this inside the Excel file. If there are, I mean, for this files that we have selected, there were no tables present for the version 01.01. So there are no tables present in the Excel file. But let's say you have a table like in the previous part, you would get as another sheet for it. So for grammar also, let me just show you. This is a very intelligent tool that will suggest you even a small change that the tool thinks to be corrected. For an example, in the file, the latest version, it is saying Ranga. So the tool thinks it could be a possible spelling mistake found, and it is suggesting, are you thinking range for it? Instead of range, did you type Ranga over there? So this tool is intelligent enough to understand there are certain, changes grammatically that can be done. So it's up to the end user to look at it and understand, and I mean it's their decision to take it up. If he thinks it's Ranga, let it be Ranga, or else change it to range. So yeah, this is how the our tool works. Thanks to entire team that have been working on this. And yeah, over to you, Ranga. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for a fantastic run through. Hope all of you had a good view of the product, and thank you very much for being patient and watching the presentation. Over to you, Mr. Sharad. Any questions, we would be more than happy to address. You could place your questions in the chat window. We'll be able to answer your questions. Thank you. Anybody has any questions, you could put it in the chat. We'll be able to answer those questions. The presentation is over. We are waiting for any questions from the audience. So that's why if you're thinking there is no audio, why is it quiet? It's not that we're just silent because we want to be silent. We're just waiting for any questions to be answered, and that's the reason for silence. So we have a question from DB Chari, who says, what is the challenging part of the project? I would say the challenging part of this project was mainly the unstructured data and the different file types. How do you handle different file types? Tables, as you could see, tables was one of the major challenges. And try to understand the flow, how to compare, extract them, how to get the inline comments. These were the major challenging parts of the project. Basically, with regards to the same question on the time frame, this project is a kind of, as my teammates would agree, that this is more of an open-ended kind of a project. You could keep on adding more and more stuff, making the tool, as it's a tool, could be made much better. But basically, it was around, I would say, anywhere between 2.5 to 3 months of a lot of hard work has given us this product. And one of the other questions were, what are the other languages that have been handled here is currently we started off with an assumption on English, even though the product is capable of handling other languages with a few minor modifications, and it is definitely possible to handle other languages. Actually, we have tested it with Spanish, a few Spanish documents and German documents. It did work to a certain extent, but it does require a little bit of more hands-on stuff to make it handle all the different projects, all the different languages. Any other questions? You could type it on the chat. We'll be more than happy to answer. You're welcome, Shari. Most welcome. So I guess if there are no more questions, I think thank you very much. Thanks a lot for taking your Sunday evening and being a part of our celebration, our success celebration. We wish you all the very best, and we also would like to hear you one day presenting your project, and wish you all and wish my project mates a very successful career, and all my team a successful career. So I would request mm, the organizers from 360 to take over the meeting and proceed on the closure. Thank you. Good night all. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Good night. See you all. Thank you, Chari, for your wishes. Thank you very much. We wish you all a very fruitful career and a journey as well. So all the very best. Let's rock. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.